Hello there. I am going to demonstrate flour pounding today, and I'm going to just quickly go over the supplies you'll need. I use one of my cutting boards to do the pounding on. I have a hammer. I have, of course, my flours, and I'm using pansies today. I have two different things that I'll actually be pounding on. One is cardstock. I think this was a piece of mixed media from a mixed media pad of paper, and also on fabric. I have paper towel, and I also have a piece of parchment paper. So I'm going to start with the paper version, and what you do is just put the pansies directly onto the paper, and you put them right side down. Then you cover it with paper towel. I like to use paper towel because it tends to show the pigment is lifting up through the paper towel, and then you know you've pounded enough. So this is a noisy project, so I'm going to start pounding now, and it'll be a little noisy for a bit. But so you just take your hammer and you pound, and you can start to see how the pigment is coming through. Sometimes you need to use the side of the hammer, but I'm thinking that that's probably good. See how the pigment has come through? So that's telling me that the pansy has transferred onto the paper. I'm going to do one more. I probably will use this as, maybe like a little card that I'll make. Sometimes I use these at my retreat center when we're meeting in person at live events. I might put a little quote or a special message on something like this, or use it for a place card. These would be beautiful place cards on a table. They also make great gift tags if you wanted to cut them. They make bookmarks. So if I were to just have one, I could actually layer them and cut it this way for a bookmark. Or they make beautiful cards. I often will use little note cards that you buy already folded, and then you just apply the pansy and you've got a beautiful little note card. So for this one, I think I'm going to eventually use these as little table place cards. So I'm going to pound this one down on that piece of paper. And that's probably good enough. So then you simply just can fold off the actual pansy, and the pigment, you can see, has stayed on the paper. Now, isn't that the most beautiful thing? Beautiful pansy. And I'll just get the other one here, and it's done the same. So now I have two pieces that I can use for a different project, whether it's a place card or a little gift tag or whatever I want to use it for. So it's that simple. Now I quickly want to show you on fabric. Fabric is used for, I use it for slow stitching. So I'll incorporate some of the pansy pieces into my slow stitching, and I've made a couple of cards using this, and I'm actually going to you'll see in my live on this newsletter that this video is attached to, where I've shown you some of the projects that I've used my fabric pounded flowers in. So let's try a yellow pansy for this one. Now this one, because the pigment often goes through the fabric onto my cutting board, I'm going to put a little piece of parchment paper underneath. And again, I'm going to use the paper towel. So I'll put that on, and I'll pound just like with the paper. This is actually a piece of linen that came from my grandmother's stash of fabric, so it's quite special. So I might put this in a card to my daughter, someone who would have some connection to my mom or to her grandma, and it becomes a really special gift to give. Let's see, I think that's probably good. Now again, I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to pull off the actual pansy, and there you go, there it is. So now I can cut this in a circle, I could cut it in a square and attach it with some other fabrics to a slow stitch design. So it's as simple as that, and I hope that you'll experiment. It is a lot of trial and error, and in the newsletter where you found this video, I have included different flowers that work best for this project. I love pansies, but there are other ones that work as well. So enjoy, have fun with it, and talk to you soon. Bye.